Any comments from key staff members first, or everyone? Pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Questions? Must be one. Councillor Hewitt. Here you go.
Thank you. I look at this and the title is Monthly Work Plan Looking Forward. Some of the group managers are looking forward, writing their reports forward, and some are writing about activities that have already happened. So either or, the information's fine, but it doesn't add a tremendous lot of value to me in terms of if there's events on in our community that have got regional council staff speaking at, I really want to know about it if they're in my neck of the woods. Even if we're not the hosts of the function, we have got a number of staff in the comms team here, and I'm sure there must be some way that we can join the dots together so that I don't hear after a significantly large field day in Central Hawke's Bay that it was on, there was a regional council speaker there, and Debbie, why weren't you there? I mean, I'm doing my best. If I'm invited to something, that's great. If I can't be there, I'll send an apology, but any help I can be getting from this organisation in terms of making this report more meaningful for me would be gratefully received. My question is, how can we make that more? Thank you.
The answer is?
The answer is we'll take a note of that. Look, I know that, Councillor, you've raised this before, and it's certainly something that we're trying to be more proactive about internally, because sometimes we don't know, even at this level, what some of our staff have been invited to speak at. So it's a matter of us.
So the ones who do
the whole thing
I
together.
say thank you, but yeah, there's still some gaps, and I'm slipping through a few cracks, and it's not really that good a look.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions in regard to the content here?
Yeah. There is. This is consents regarding Pokawa, and also science regarding Pokawa Lake, or Lake Pokawa. I have a personal interest in this because I attended a meeting last year before I became a councillor on behalf of one of the residents there, and tried to get up to speed on the issues that were faced. And I want to keep abreast of what's happening, so I just want to register an interest in being informed as progress is made there and information becomes available.
On page 79, the reference to Plan Change 5. Could you just update a little more on how that is progressing and what actually could be the implications of the outcome of that to Plan Change 6, etc.?
Yes, I noticed that comment on your website. Yeah, I did check it. So we had 2 days of mediation, and all the parties were there this time. I think we made significant progress, but we didn't quite nail it on that time. So we have a few dates or a timetable that we're swapping comments on various provisions of suggested changes or words we might agree on, and we have to report that back to the court on the 30th of April. In terms of changes that might be material to change 6, I don't believe that there are any changes that are material to change 6. So that's where we're at the moment. As I say, we haven't nailed final words yet. There are issues. I guess the key ones are around wetland and the wetland definition. The table 1, which sort of sets out priorities or primary values and uses and secondary values and uses for our 3 main catchments. There are some more suggestions coming through on where those values sit, whether any new ones should be added to that. Nikki is still doing some.
So your expectation is the mediation will be successful as a mediation?
I'm optimistic. I mean, I can't know that, but I was pleasantly surprised that there was some willingness of all parties to move. So, but it really depends on where people land at the end of the day.
questions? Further questions? Someone happy to take us the recommendation here? Please, thank you, Councillor Bevan. Moving, seconding, Councillor Scott. Thank you. You wish to speak? You all good? No speakers. Put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. Carried. General business, I think, is next. Nimmo Bell, Councillor Belford.
Just was asking for a status report where that project stands.
Thanks, Councillor. The draft report from Nimmo Bell has been received. It was received a few days ago. Mr. Sherman and myself have been through that report, and we've gone back with some suggestions as to some very modest amendments. But the report, in my view, covers what they're asked to do in the terms of reference, and it covers it quite well. That's about the third draft we've got. The proposal is to have a presentation to the Environment and Services meeting on the 9th of April, and that's in track.
Thank you. Councillor Barker, local transport issues.
Yes, we've got an interesting confluence of issues here. Oh, sorry. A very interesting confluence of issues here. Firstly, we are considering the Ruatana for water storage scheme, which in the reports that put out say there's going to be quite a significant increase in production if it goes ahead. Hundreds of containers heading after the port. We've got intensification of agriculture in other areas. Councillor Dick notes there's a lot of timber coming on stream from up north. That's all heading down here. And there's one obviously our point for this is the port. Now, one of the solutions we put on the agenda some time ago was the prospect of having an inland port at Whakatū, which has now got pushed to the back burner for some reason. And the concern I have here is that we are, this council is the 100% shareholder in the Port of Napier, and we've had a little bit of a sort of a signal of what's likely for us in the future in the last few weeks, where there's been some significant congestion. Now, what I would like this council to do, and I think it's a very good role for the chair to take a lead on, is I'd like the chair as the head of the group who represents the shareholders of this, I'd like the chair to make an approach to the chair of the Port of Napier, understanding that it's not for us to get involved in governance or management, but I'd like the chair to obtain for us a report back to this council on what was the cause of the issues for the hold up of the port over the recent weeks. Secondly, what the port company intends to do about it. Thirdly, what we can, as a regional council, do to assist if it's for us to consider putting more funding back into the Whakatū area, to relook at that, relook at the parameters of it. But the fact is, we need our produce to get out of that gate as quickly as we can. It's unfortunate that we've heard that people have had trucks turned around. Trucks have had to go and dump produce back into cool stores at extra cost. Truckers have been held up to the extent that they're asking for increases in charges to carry goods to the port. There's a whole range of issues in here, and I don't think that we can get directly involved, but I do think that we should ask some questions to make sure they're concerned. And secondly, that we take this up as an approach like the old Guthrie Barron sign, a helping hand. We're here to help if we can. What is it we need to do? What can we do to assist us? And I think that would be a very good piece of work for you to lead, Chair.
Expedite at great pace, I can tell you. And thank you. I think it's worthwhile. Chairman's monthly report. You should have a copy of there, a tome of work. The one I really wanted to focus on was Te Tera Whakami o Te Wairo hearings at Takitumu Marae. Now, we touched on that today with our interaction with Bill Blake. He was there, and he was right. It was a great privilege to be invited and involved. And it will be one of the biggest opportunities for the northern part of the region in many generations. The fact that they came together as one people, the different hapu, there's 52 hapu were heard at that hearing over 4 days. And part of the attraction to me was the fact that it was more about hearing what others had been through as much as the Crown hearing what they had themselves had been through. And I found it quite humbling actually to be invited. And so that's been a big part of the last little while.
Sorry, what was the purpose of that meeting?
They, Sir Anand, and I'm going to mangle his name, I can never get it right, Satan Sanyan, yeah, that's him. He was there on behalf of the Crown listening to grievance complaints over 4 days from 52 hapu in the Wairoa district.
In relation to treaty claims?
Treaty claims, yeah.
Okay.
And he will deliver a report back, I think we heard today, the end of June, and they're hoping to settle by the end of November. So it's...
He's going to give a report to the Crown in June?
I think so, yes.
And settle in November?
Good luck. Good luck. Not my words. Not my words. That's just what I've heard today. Yeah. Anything else there? Any great annual plan meetings? Questions?
Audit New Zealand.
Oh, that was meeting. There's a changing of the baton from the last auditor we've had. What's his name?
Mark Maloney.
Maloney. For the 6 years is the total they're allowed to have an interaction with one council. So he's moving on, and a new person.
Stephen Lucy.
There you go. Is moving in. So that's all that meeting.
That was a meet and greet.
Meet and greet.
I thought it might have been some audit issues all over it.
No, nothing so exciting.
But I was hoping, because we want some spice for our council, for our meetings around the place. We looked at the controversy. I thought it might have been out here.
No, it wasn't there. Anyway, someone happy to move? You happy to move? Seconded by Councillor Bevan. Put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Let's have against. Carried. Let's have a 2-minute stretch the leg break, and then we'll move into public excluded. So I see Dr. Pearce is back with us. Thank you. And I would hope to wrap things up well before 4 o'clock.